In this video, I'm going to cover cracking and pulling. Again, these are, I kind of say this in most of these videos, so the Chang Tai Chi, there's an integration of Shuai. And if you're older and you're doing Chang just for functional fitness, it would still be great to learn some of these throwing postures that will really stretch your balance and strengthen the core more and the legs and all of that. If you're younger and you're doing Chang Tai Chi for application and potentially you're also doing Shuai, then these are also great to help you get the coordination of the movements down, and the same attributes that an older person would be utilizing them for, again, to help strengthen the body, gain better mobility, coordination of the movements, etc. So again, these are done in a line drill fashion, and there's a build up to these if you're curious of where this goes. So there's singles, and I don't know, I'm going to make probably 2 or 3 dozen of them, I guess, or show 2 or 3 dozen of them. And then as well, combinations where I'm connecting 2 together, or sometimes 3. And usually when it's 3, it's more for just to show that you have the purpose to do it. It's different than the postures for the Tai Chi postures. So I can link those together in any way, meaning I can do it for more just creative purposes, or I can link them together as an application point. These here, I wouldn't link these together into combining 2 together, not unless I felt like it would actually work for application. So that being said, just like the other ones, right? Just like if we did cut, right? We do a whole row of these down, on the right and the left and right, whatever it may be. If I can do 1 or 2 or half a dozen in a row, depending on how much space I have. So we'll start with pulling. So it's as if I'm going to bring this hand in like this. So you can think that the person has their arm on you, or that you seize the arm and you're pulling it into you. Okay? As I do, I'm going to turn all the way around with this leg, and this hand is going to come up, right? So it's like 1, this hand comes up, and then you can do this several ways. You can kick the leg down, right? Blocking, or you can kick it out further as a tripping action, right? Or you can do like lifting. So I'm going to do it like this so you can see what I'm saying. So I seized his arm, or I could even seize his apparel if I needed to. And there's other ways to do this. It's just a simplified way to practice the throw. So from here, 1, 2, right? And then look, I can kick down, or I can trip out, go far. I can lift the leg up. Here, turn, and lift. And so that's the one I'm going to do today. I really like doing the leg lifting because it stresses my balance more. If I only do it explosively, I would do either like this, where I turn it into a full-on elongated trip, or kicking back to try to flip them over this way versus doing it this way and making them fall like this. This is a hard fall. I mean, the speed that you articulate it, as you do the movement. Lifting him, and if I can lift and use the rotation of my body, it's a very hard fall as well. So anyway, so I'm going to start from here. So 1, 2, lift, right? 1, 2, lift. 1, 2, lift, right? 1, 2, lift. 1, 2, lift. These are great to practice to get the coordination of the movement. Again, it's like this. I've shared this in a couple of other videos. It's not just that I need to be able to support myself with my leg in the air to make the throw work, but I also need to support a large portion of his weight, maybe a smaller portion or a bigger portion. It just depends on the throw itself. So I have to have the stability for me in the spring, but I also have to have it for the other person, right? So again, 1, 2, lift. 1, 2, lift. 1, 2, lift. If I go to lose my balance, like right there, so what? It's not a big deal. Here, lift. Here, lift. Here, lift. And a couple of the with the foot on the ground. Here, kick back. Here, kick back. Here, kick back. So if you think about it, the pulling, I'm on his inside, right? His arms are here, mine are here, and I'm actually turning on the inside of him, right? I'm on the inside, and this arm is kind of up against his torso, and it's gonna, so as I come through, and as I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna push into his torso, and maybe another pivot point, but also to keep him from trying to move around me. Right? And just like the other ones, if it's a throw you want to try, practice it this way. And it will kind of give you the confidence of the posture, and it'll help you with the speed part of it, or the force part, right? This part's kind of fast, and then I've got to execute this with this power part, right? And I need to have the stability as I do it, for me, as well as for the additional load that I put on my body to execute it. Okay, so the next one is cracking. And so cracking is kind of the opposite of pulling. That's why I did these two together. Meaning, so pulling, I'm on his inside like this, facing him. I've got his arm. I'm kind of holding his arm from the outside. And I come inside, right? To execute the move. Cracking, I hold his arm, but I'm on his outside, right? And so it's like I have his arm against my torso. And so his arm is like this, it's extended, and I'm pulling it toward me. And this arm is going to come out again across the front of his torso, this way. And the leg, you're going to drive it in like this. Now, if you're practicing with someone, I don't recommend that you go directly into his joint. It's a great way to flip the guy over, but it's also a great way to damage the person's knee. And we don't want to do that when training partners are hard to get, and we don't want somebody to get injured and then they can't go for a few weeks or they quit or something like that, right? So we don't want to do that. It can be done across his waistline, across his thighs, across the lower leg, across both legs. And you can also scoop his leg out. So if you think I seize his arm, and my leg comes up, and from here, I'm going to kick the leg out as I hyperextend his arm across me. I'm going to kick his leg out, and then he will fall over here. Another thing you don't, well, everything is about the situation, right? But if you do this like this, and you have his arm, and you kind of snap into the arm, that's one of the reasons this cracking makes sense, right? You could potentially hyperextend the elbow or damage the knee, or both of them at the same time. And I guess if somebody was trying to, cause you very bad bodily harm or trying to kill you, well, of course, I need to stop him at all costs to keep from having my own self killed or injured in a bad way, right? I don't want that. But again, for practicing with a partner, you don't need to do it that way. And it's not gonna, it's not a benefit to anybody. Okay, so again, I grab his arm, I step behind, and I'm gonna kick up and over his waist, and I flip him over this way, right? 1, 2, 3, right? So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Again, I can kick down, 1, 2, 3. And I'm filming this and I'm trying to talk to you, but at the same time, I really should rotate my head so I get the fullness of the movement, and I actually turn my core the same way. The same thing with the pulling, right? I'm here, and I come up, and I should turn all the way. And I really want to make sure my posture is really good. If I bend like this, when I'm trying to do, I bend like this when I'm trying to do cracking, or bend like this when I'm trying to do cracking, especially people try to roll the back, you can hurt your back. Think about it. You're trying to apply force enough to throw over a grown adult, and you put all that pressure in your back. It's bad for you. The pulling, a lot of times, they'll come this way, and they'll do like this. They'll round the back that way. And think about it. You've got all this weight on you, and you're pinching your spine. Not good, right? So I want to make sure I have this nice straight line, right? So with cracking, nice straight line. And notice too, I turn my foot out into a marching stance. If you leave it like this, and say you did this action, it's real easy to roll your knee or your ankle out. The ankle, it moves more freely in different directions, but the knee is purely just the hinge that moves one way. The foot's not. And so we don't want to put that extra pressure in the knee either. So again, pulling. Pulling. Right. Outside, right? Cracking. 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 So again, doing your left and right, step through. You can do 1, 2, step through, do 2 more, turn around like that, or just do 1 this way, 1 that way, right? That is practicing these pieces. And then, like I said, there's other videos that will be over combinations of movements, just to give you the idea. And we have an additional form. It's an auxiliary form I've been working on with my teacher for, I guess it's like 2001. And it's a whole series of throws linked together. And so if you think of these almost like a precursor, and then the combinations, and then working on that form, it will help you to remember a lot of the individual throws and their names, and then you just dissect this stuff out, and you practice those movements with a partner, and it will overall help you. It's just kind of like to me, forms are exercise, and they're also like a manual, right? And you memorize it well enough that you can remember the postures and the names, and then you pull those things apart and you practice them with a partner. And that's kind of what we're doing with these, right? Just the singles and then practice them as a piece. So anyway, I hope you liked the video. Thank you.